Dear students, we are doing problems from 14th lesson kinetic theory, and this is the solved example 14.8. A cylinder of fixed capacity, that is volume is constant, and the volume is 44.8 liters, that is 44.8 into 1 liter mean 10 to the power of minus 3 meter cube. Contains helium gas. Helium gas, it is a inert gas and it is monoatomic at standard temperature and pressure. So this volume is at STP. What is the amount of heat needed to raise the temperature of the gas in the cylinder by 15 degrees centigrade? Amount of heat required at constant volume, that is asked. To raise the temperature delta T 15.0 degrees centigrade, and R value is given 8.31 joule per mole Kelvin. Now heat required at constant volume, this comes in the definition of CV. How CV is defined? CV is equal to 1 by N into delta Q by delta T at constant volume, or delta Q at constant volume is equal to N CV delta T. N means number of moles. Now see, the gas is occupying this much volume at STP. So at STP, 22.4 liters of gas makes 1 mole. Then here how much given? 44.8 liters of gas given. How many moles? 44.8 by 22.4 into 1, that is equal to 2 moles. That is 2 moles of gas is given. 2 moles of gas is given. Okay, N value ready. Next CV. For monoatomic gas, CV is equal to (3 by 2 R). Next, delta T given. So substituting the values. Delta Q at constant volume is equal to N CV delta T. Number of moles 2. CV value 3 by 2 into R value 8.31 into delta T 15 degrees centigrade. So we get 374 joules. Next problem is estimate L and tau for air molecules with average speeds 485 meter per second at STP. L means mean free path. Mean free path L is defined as average speed into tau, where tau means average time period between two successive collisions, and for that the formula is n pi average v d square. First, let us calculate the mean time period. For that, what is required? N value required, average speed is given, d value. See here in the problem, it is given take d is equal to 2 angstroms. In the problem it is given d means diameter of air molecule. So v value given 485 meter per second, d value given 2 angstrom means 2 into 10 power minus 10 meters, and n value means number density. N means number density, that is n by v. See here, volume, if we take, suppose you take a volume of 22.4 liters at STP. At STP 22.4 liters of air will contain 6.02 into 10 to the power of 23 molecules. So 6.02 into 10 to the power of 23 divided by 22.4 into 1 liter means 10 power minus 3 meter cube. So from this we get n value we get this much. Substituting these values in equation 2, we get average time period value as 6.1 into 10 power minus 10 seconds. Next we have to calculate mean free path. Substituting the values in equation 1, L is equal to average velocity into tau. Average velocity is 485 and tau value is 6.1 into 10 to the power of minus 10. We get 2.9 into 10 power minus 7 meters. This can be roughly taken as 3 into 10 power minus 7 meters. Multiply numerator and denominator by 10 power minus 3. Then we get 3 into 10 power minus 10 divided by 10 power minus 3 meter, or L is equal to, take this 10 power minus 3 to the numerator, 3000 into 10 power minus 10 meter. It becomes 3000 angstroms. 3000 angstroms. Now this can be written as 1500 into 2 angstroms. But 2 angstrom is diameter of each molecule, so into d. It means mean free path value is 1500 times the diameter of each molecule. Next problem, estimate the mean free path for a water molecule in water vapor at 373 Kelvin. take D is equal to 2 angstroms. D means diameter of each water molecule, 2 angstroms. And N means number density, number of molecules per unit volume. How much? 2.7 into 10 power 25 per meter cube at STP. At STP. But our problem is at 373 Kelvin. So N value changes. Let me write ideal gas equation. PV is equal to mu RT. But mu is equal to N by Na. Therefore, PV is equal to N by Na R into T. I have substituted mu is equal to N by Na in place of mu. Or N, take this V to right hand side, N by V. Na and RT this side, P by P into Na, P into Na by RT. But N by V means small n. Here at STP, pressure is standard temperature and pressure. At standard temperature and pressure. Under atmospheric pressure, under constants, the atmospheric pressure will be constant at the moment. It doesn't change from second to second or minute to minute. It will be constant for the moment we consider the experiment. P is constant, Na constant, R constant, P, Na, R, these are constants. Therefore, N is inversely proportional to T. See, all these are constants. N is in the numerator, T in the denominator. So, there is inverse proportionality between N and T. Therefore, N1 T1 is equal to N2 T2. At STP, STP means what? T is equal to 0 degrees centigrade, P is equal to 1 atmosphere, or 1.01 into 10 to the power of 5 pascals. This is equal to 273 Kelvin. Okay. Now, initial temperature. T1 is equal to 273 Kelvin. N1. Given value 2.7 into 10 to the power of 25. This N value at STP. So the standard temperature and corresponding number of moles. Sorry, number density. Next N2, next T2. but we want number density at 373 K. N2 is equal to how much? So substituting the values. In make N2 subject, N2 is equal to N1 into T1 by T2. N1 value 2.7 into 10 to the power of 25 into T1 273, T2 373. You get 2.0 into 10 to the power of 25. So you got the N value. Mean free path L is equal to 1 by n pi d square. N value just now we calculated 2.0 into 10 to the power of 25 at 373 Kelvin. And d value it is given in 2 angstroms. Substituting. We get mean free path 4 into 10 power minus 7 meter. Multiply numerator and denominator by 10 power minus 3. Take this 10 power minus 3 to the numerator and minus 7 minus 3 becomes 10 power minus 10. 10 power minus 10 meter means angstrom, 4000 angstroms. L is equal to, this can be written as 100 into 40 angstroms. But 40 angstroms is distance between two molecules in water vapor. That is interatomic distance, intermolecular distance. It means see, mean free path is 100 times the intermolecular distance. Now let us do short answer question, fifth one. Two thermally insulated vessels (192) of volumes V1 and V2 are joined with a valve and filled with air at temperature T1, T2 and pressures P1, P2 respectively. This is one vessel, this is another vessel. Vessel 1, vessel 2, and here a valve is there, it is kept closed. In this gas is there and the gas is P1 pressure, V1 volume, T1 temperature and N1 moles of gas is there in this vessel. In this vessel P2, V2, T2, N2. This is enclosed by insulator. Insulator means there is no exchange of heat energy. There will be no exchange of heat energy between system and surroundings. Two chambers are there. The parameters of gas in this is these, and these are the parameters of gas in vessel 2, and the two vessels are separate because here the valve is kept closed. The valve is kept closed. Valve closed. Valve opened. Now valve is opened. When you open the valve, what happens? Gas moves from high pressure place to low pressure area. Suppose P1 is greater than P2. Then air moves from this chamber to this chamber until pressure in both chambers become equal. Volume. The two chambers may not have equal volumes. Therefore, here its volume may be V1, here its volume may be V2. The V1, V2 are volumes of the chambers. The two rooms need not be same. One room may be small, another room may be large. Next, temperatures. Again, when valve is opened, heat flows from high temperature place to low temperature place. Suppose T1 is greater than T2. Then heat flows from this chamber to that chamber. How long? Until both temperatures become equal. Now, the number of moles. The total number of moles will be same. See, actually I should not write here P and here P. Just one time I should write. Because these two rooms are connected here. So the total, the pressure, it is an intensive quantity. Anywhere, pressure means force per unit area. So everywhere inside the insulator, the pressure is common in this chamber and in this chamber. Temperature also common. In both chambers the temperature is same. And the total number of moles of gas. See, the gas is neither going, the gas is enclosed in a rigid cylinder. The gas can neither go outside nor outside gas come inside. It is a rigid enclosure. So the number of moles remain same. Here and here the total number of moles will be same. By first law of thermodynamics, delta Q is equal to delta U plus delta W. See, since it is thermally insulated, there is no exchange of heat energy. Since it is enclosed by rigid walls, no external work is done on the gas. No external work is done on the gas. So substituting the values, 0 is equal to delta U plus 0. This gives delta U is equal to 0 or U is equal to constant. That is, internal energy will be constant. That is what U, when valve is closed, U valve opened. In both cases, total energy of the gas is same. For a gas, its internal energy is purely kinetic. U or E. Actually, average kinetic energy of each gas molecule. Average kinetic energy of each gas molecule, E bar is equal to E by N is equal to 3 by 2 kBT. Or E is equal to 3 by 2 N kBT. But mu is equal to N by Na, or N is equal to mu into Na. Substituting this, we get E is equal to 3 by 2 mu Na kBT. That is equal to Na into kBT, capital R, 3 by 2 mu R T. And what is this E? Total internal energy. This is total internal energy of given gas. Total internal energy of given gas is 3 by 2 mu RT. So total internal energy of given gas, it can be represented by U or E, and it is 3 by 2 mu RT. But ideal gas equation is PV is equal to mu RT. So in place of mu RT, you can write PV. Substituting 2 in 1, we get E is equal to 3 by 2 PV. E is equal to 3 by 2 PV. Since the chamber is thermally insulated and the walls are rigid, delta Q0 and delta W0, so we got delta U is equal to 0, U is equal to constant. That is total internal energy of the gas is constant before opening the valve and after opening the valve. There is no change in internal energy. So let me write here total internal energy before opening the valve is equal to total internal energy after opening the valve. So there is no change in internal energy before opening the valve and after opening the valve. The U value is same, the E value is same. So here, so E value means what? 3 by 2 P. So here two chambers separate are there. So first let us write this 3 by 2 PV for first chamber. 3 by 2 P1 V1 plus for next chamber 3 by 2 P2 V2. So this is before opening the valve. Now after opening the valve. So after opening the valve, there are no two rooms, they are interlinked. Therefore here 3 by 2, see pressure is common for both rooms. Therefore here you write P, here V1 plus 3 by 2, here P not P2, here V2. Now in this 3 by 2 taken common. And here P common. P common. 3 by 2 gets cancelled. So this gives P is equal to P1 V1 plus P2 V2 by V1 plus V2. We got one answer. Next, just like this, we have to find out T temperature also, equilibrium temperature. Ideal gas equation PV is equal to mu RT. Now, when the valve is opened, the two gases are mixed. Therefore, for a mixture of non-reactive gases, we have to write the ideal gas equation. Now here P is common for both chambers. P for this chamber PV1, the LHS I am writing. For the right side chamber plus for the right side chamber PV2 is equal to right side RHS mu RT. R is a constant, T is common temperature. In this room and in this room the temperature is same. So what changes? Just number of moles changes. But you are considering the combined space. Therefore, here in place of mu we should write N1 plus N2 RT. P is common here. Now before valve opened. In this case, for first room, ideal gas equation for room 1. What can we write? P1 V1 is equal to see here, not here, instead of mu we are writing n. Okay, here number of moles n1 or T1. Now here we can write n1 RT plus n2 RT. Suppose this is third equation. This is third equation. Next, ideal gas equation for room 2. In this case, P2 V2 is equal to N2 or T2. Suppose this is fourth equation. So in place of these values, let us substitute these values, and in place of P, let us substitute this value. Say this is substituting 3 and 5 in 4. In place of P, what we write? Into V1 plus V2 is equal to N1 RT. N1 RT1. See N1 R means, see this T1 should be taken this side. N1 R. This by T1. Send this T to this side, T2. So N1R P1 V1 by T1 plus P2 V2 by T2. Before valve opened, for this case, I wrote ideal gas equation for room 1 here. P1 V1 is equal to N1 or T1. Ideal gas equation for room 2. P2 V2 is equal to N2 or T2. Now, from this ideal gas equation, N1R is equal to T1 taken this side. So, we get P1 V1 by T1. Similarly, taking T2 this side, P2 V2 by T2 is equal to N2 R. So these values are substituted here. So here T is there. And in place of N2 R, you write P2 V2 by T2 into T. V1 plus V2 cancels. P1 V1 plus P2 V2 is equal to. Here what can be taken common? Capital T can be taken common. P1 V1 T2 plus P2 V2 T1 by T1 T2. We have added the two fractions by LCM method. Or capital T is equal to this is another answer. If a gas has F degrees of freedom, find Cp by Cv. According to law of equipartition of energy, energy associated with each energy mode or with each degree of mode, with each degree of freedom is 1 by 2 kBT. Therefore, energy associated with F degrees of freedom will be F into 1 by 2 kBT. And this is for one molecule. This is for one molecule. For 1 mole gas, the energy associated is F into 1 by 2 kBT into, in 1 mole gas there are Na number of molecules. Therefore, F into 1 by 2 Na kBT is equal to F by 2 Na into Kb. This is capital R T for 1 mole gas. So this is the total internal energy, E or U. Now Cv. Cv is equal to delta U by delta T. Delta by delta T of F by 2 RT. F by 2 are constants. Delta T by delta T means 1. So we get this much. So this is Cv value. But we know Cp minus Cv is equal to R, or Cp is equal to Cv plus R. Cv value Fr by 2 plus R. So F by 2, see, F by 2 plus 1. So 2 plus F by 2 into R. Now Cp by Cv. 2 plus F by 2 divided by Fr by 2. r by 2 gets cancelled. So we get 1 plus 2 by f. A short answer question 10th one. When pressure increases by 2%, what is the percent decrease in the volume of gas assuming Boyle's law is obeyed? So what is Boyle's law? P inversely proportional to V, or PV is equal to constant, or P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2, or P1 by P2 is equal to V2 by V1. Now subtracting 1 on both sides, P1 minus P2 by P2, V2 minus V1 by V1. Or this can be written as minus of V1 minus V2 by V1. This gives, this is initial value, this is final value. So